because this is very bad. Yeah. We need to stop them further up the road, maybe.
I thought they had moved it, but obviously people were just ignoring it.
Yeah.
Saying, and John Morrison just mentioned to me that the Boorong name for these falling stars is Pukalong Tuk. Now, as I was saying, John Morrison's made a very detailed examination of William Stanbridge's work as well, looking at the night sky, and we're very fortunate that William Stanbridge was able to preserve some of this knowledge for us. Now, if we look at this region, these two stars were seen as what William Stanbridge referred to as the Bermgul, and these were two male hunters. Now, there was a character by the name of Bunya or Bunya, and he was out hunting one day, and he came across a very large emu called Chingal, and Chingal had a very bad reputation, a very bad temper, and chased Bunya. Bunya was very, very frightened, so he actually dropped his spears at the foot of a tree, a gum tree, and he ran up the tree for safety. The brothers, the Bermgul, are often referred to as the Brothers Bram throughout many parts of Victoria, and the story varies a little bit from group to group, but it is a popular story, as John would know, through many, many parts of Victoria. Now, the Brothers Bram, they heard about this, so they immediately came to the area, and they attacked Chingal and speared Chingal. And Chingal's body is actually, it's a bit hard to see at the moment, but there is a dark patch there. Now, the way you can see this a little better is use something that astronomers call averted vision. In other words, you look at that spot but slightly down to the left of it, and in your eye you have cones and rods which are very sensitive to faint light, so you'll be able to pick it up a little bit better. So try looking directly at it. If you don't see it very well, look slightly to one side, off centre. Can you all see that dark patch there?
Coalsack.
This is the Coalsack Nebula, and this is a dark cloud of dust that is in space, obscuring the stars in the background, and it is about 600 light years away. All right. Now this is Chingal, and Chingal was speared by these two brothers, and one spear tip comes through to this star here, and the other spear tip comes to this star here. Okay, and so this star here, there's a spear point through here, through the neck, and a spear point that comes through the rump of the Chingal just there. Can you all see that shape? All right. So this was an important area to the Boorong, and the tops, because Bunya had run up to the top of the tree, the Brothers Bram weren't really impressed with this. They thought it was a cowardly act. So what they did was they cursed Chingal to remain a possum up the tree. And so Chingal is still, I beg your pardon, Bunya or Bunya is still sitting at the top of the tree, and it's that star just there, which astronomers call Alpha Beta Gamma Crucis, sitting at the top of the tree there. Now, if we come from the Southern Cross, across here, you'll see a fuzzy patch just there. Looks like a cloud. And you see another cloud there, just there. Now these are the two Magellanic Clouds, and they are named after the Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan, who during his journey south in 1519 recorded these objects. Again, what we are seeing is the accumulated light from millions of stars, but our eyes aren't quite sensitive enough to be able to define these into individual stars. Now, what these objects are two of only three objects that we can see naked eye outside of our galaxy. All right. So all of the stars and everything you see is within our galaxy. We're not seeing objects in other galaxies, with the exception of those two objects, which are only visible in the southern hemisphere. So the northern hemisphere people often get quite upset that we can see these. And the only other object that's visible outside of our outside using our naked eye visibility is the Andromeda Galaxy, which is also coming up in the sky now as well. So we're fortunate that we can see 3 of these objects. Now the Large Magellanic Cloud, that galaxy there, that satellite galaxy, is what we call an irregular galaxy. It's irregular in shape. And it contains probably about 10,000 million suns. So 10,000 million stars in this galaxy. That object you're looking at now is 170,000 light years away. That means that light you are seeing there is 170,000 years old. The light you now see from that galaxy left there about the time that the first humans were migrating out of Africa. Alright? Now the first humans appear in the fossil record around about 200,000 years ago. Alright? So early humans were first appearing in Africa, modern Homo sapiens I'm talking about, and that light left there at that time. So this is really old light. The Small Magellanic Cloud, this one up here, if my pointer doesn't fail me, is about 230,000 light years away. So that light is 230,000 years old. It's something that's quite mind-boggling when you think about it. Now some stars, and our sun is not one of them, go through their cycle, their life period, and the very massive stars, the ones that have a lot of gas, a lot of material, will end their lives as a supernova. And a supernova is basically a star when a star explodes. And in fact, the very stuff we're made of comes from a supernova. The gold on your finger, if you're wearing gold on a ring, is forged within a supernova explosion. Carbon, hydrogen, some of the hydrogen was formed in the Big Bang, but many of the elements that we're composed of were made inside of a supernova. So when Carl Sagan said we are made of star stuff, he was very accurate. We are made of the stuff that is forged inside the nuclear furnaces of stars. And a star that will do that is that star just there. That is a star called Antares, alright? And Antares is in the constellation of the Scorpius. And this star one day will go supernova. Now I want you to think about this. Our sun, or our Earth, we'd fit about 1.5 million Earths easily inside of our sun. Our sun would fit in that star 600 times quite easily. Right, so it's much larger than our sun. And it is a star that will go supernova. Now you may notice that star also has a bit of an orange tint, a red tinge to it. It is a red supergiant star. Now when we look at stars, the brightness is not an indication of the distance, because stars burn at different temperatures. So the really blue stars you see tend to be burning at very high temperatures, and they may be a long way away but appear bright because they're burning at a high temperature. You can have a star that is quite close that is burning at a very low temperature and may appear very faint, and it may appear that it's a long way away, but that's not the case. Alright, so the star colour is an indication of the temperature. The cooler the star, the redder it is. The hotter the star, the more white and the more blue it is. So a star like Antares is not that high in temperature, but it is a very massive star. Now the scorpion shape is, the claws are through here, the body comes up here. Is that laser working okay, Steve?
Yes.
And
Depends where you stand, I think.
depends where you're standing. Yeah, hopefully it's not working the best. Sorry about this. It takes triple A's, I think.
I've got some.
You've got some? Shall we try them?
Triple A's?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
All right, can I grab a couple? We'll try them.
If you can just...
The scorpion shape, if we can you see the lasers just enough to see that shape there? No?
No.
Oh, that's a bugger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does depend on where you're standing, and this one's doing the same thing. Unbelievable. Yes, that big reverse question mark. There's the body, the claws are in this region here. So if we make a figure 7 there, one claw, another figure 7 there, another claw. Alright, just there. Now, so this is the constellation of Scorpius, and it's one of the zodiacal constellations. Now, this star here, Antares, is another star that was important to the Boorong people, and this is called Jewett. And Jewett was, the two stars either side are the wives of Jewett as well. Now I'm not going to go through all of the stars in Scorpius because most of them have names. And I did say today, for those of you that weren't there today, the stars usually have two names. They always have a scientific name, and they quite often, but not always, they have an individual name as well. Now I'm using the individual name because it's easier to remember. Now where we come to the big reverse question mark there, as you may have heard John say today, these two stars, the bright one on the right is a star called Shawla, and the star on the left is called Lisath. Now the brighter one of the two comes from the Arabic al-Shawla, which means the sting. And the Arabs were very good stellar cartographers. They made very good maps, and a lot of the names that astronomers use today are actually Arabic in origin, a lot of the star names, although we've often corrupted them into English. Now John did say today that these two stars here are the Kadak, and this was the Boorong, the two falcons in the sky. Now John, did you say the word has another meaning as well? It was spear thrower. Where's John disappeared?
Take the line of stars,
yep,
and that little hook on the end.
Yep.
Kadak is woman.
Yeah, the woomera or the spear thrower, and it definitely does have that shape there as well. Now, where we're looking into that area there, you're actually looking at the centre of our galaxy, and we're very lucky in Australia that the centre of our galaxy, particularly for us here in Sea Lake, and for people in Melbourne and Adelaide and so on, they can look up into the sky and see the centre of the galaxy pass right overhead. I've seen this from the United States, and it's right, sort of the Scorpion does a flip on the horizon. So we're very fortunate to have it so high in the sky. Now our galaxy is about 100,000 light years across. Alright? So it would take 100,000 years if we could travel at the speed of light to go from one side of the galaxy to the other side of the galaxy. We are about 30,000 light years from the centre. Okay? So the glow you're seeing there comes from about 30,000 light years away. So again, we're seeing very, very old light. And the dark patches we can see here are all clouds of dust in space, basically. And they're obscuring some of the light coming from the centre of our galaxy. Now, John also mentioned the Aboriginal emu. And it's very common through with Aboriginal groups in Australia to use dark patches in the sky as constellations. Very few cultures do this. We have such good skies in Australia that we can do that. The only other people I'm aware that do this were the Incas. They picked out dark patches, and some of the Polynesians did it as well. But it's a common theme in Australia. Now unfortunately the emu is upside down at the moment, so you have to use your imagination. But basically where we looked at the coal sack earlier, just there, okay, if we trail along here, that's the head of the emu, trail along here, this is the long neck, comes through here, and just let me pick the body, the two legs come in here, and the body comes all the way back up like this kind of shape. Right, and this is the Aboriginal emu in the sky, and it's commonly seen by many groups. Now one thing I want to point out before it sets, of course, is Venus again there. Venus was called Chagi Nyawi by the Boorong people. What are you handing me here? Oh, batteries, thank you very much. It seems to be a temperature thing actually, like Alex was saying, because I'm trying to keep it warm and it seems to be working a little bit better.